This is a caffeinated Risk espresso shot with Win Schwartau.
Folks don't know what their networks have anyway.
Oh, no, that's true. No one does. I have yet to go into a company that has like a rock star asset management program that you can tell me today what you actually have lit up and running in your environment yet. And this is year 40 now doing this.
Yeah, back in the early days, you thought, well, on a mainframe environment, you could count.
Sure. Yeah, I could follow cables and I could go to the MUX and I could follow the cable and I knew where that coax was going because I could run the black cable in the ceiling space. Yep.
And in some early client server stuff, you could sort of.
Yep.
And then after 2007, it all went to hell in a handbasket after the iPhone.
Yeah.
BlackBerry at least had there was an ecosystem somewhat controlled, and I'm using that word very, very loosely. But June 2007 changed everything. And perimeters are 100% amorphous jellyfish flying through the galaxies. That's what our networks look like, is the Andromeda Galaxy pulsating. Somebody should really fractalize it, do a nice visual fractalization of the pulsing perimeter of the internet.
I wonder if Information is Beautiful would like to take that one on. That'd be awesome, right?
Good idea. All right, I hereby relinquish all rights to that.
There we go.
Have a ball.
Perfect. But that's been my biggest fear in every job I move into, in every role that we all have. It's like, can you show me what you have? No. So how do you know what to protect? How do you know what defense to put into place? How do you know what processes we need to have to defend against something we don't know? And then the room gets really uncomfortably quiet.
If you're a king in the 9th century, somewhere in the middle of Europe, you're going to have a big-ass castle, and you're going to have one moat, really deep, and boiling oil, and alligators, and guys with arrows, and all this shit, and one drawbridge with your elite SWAT team sitting there. But now you're a really progressive 9th century king. And you go, I want all the masses to be able to trade with us. And now you're going to put up, out of your beneficence, 50 drawbridges. And 2 weeks later, you're toast. So the other 9th century king down the road goes, Timus Macratus obviously made us a mistake.
Yeah.
I am only going to put in 4 drawbridges.
There you go.
For the 4 quadrants of my empire and succeed. I'm just going to shut up and let some artist go from there.
Yeah.
But even on those 4 drawbridges, that implies a commitment of a SWAT team good enough and wide enough to cover those 4, right?
Or 4 separate teams, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to put your controls. You have to have some semblance of controls. Yes.
Yep.
In the physical world, they're going to differ than in the virtual world. In the virtual world, in theory, you could have one major team in the middle and have controls over those. I mean, that becomes an operational architectural issue. I defer to Tim on how to do that. I have no idea.
That's going to be another broadcast, right? So.
But the point, I mean, it's a simple point. You got too many gazintas and gazoutas. Stop it.
Yep.
Find out what you got. Start cutting them off. You'll find out if anybody gives a shit really quickly.
Years ago we did that, right? We had we were doing some firewall upgrade, and we had like thousands of rules. And the first thing we did is, you know what? Let's just not put in that last page from the Excel spreadsheet and see what happens. Not a phone call, not a problem, nothing to the help desk. We're like, okay, so what else can we do? We just kept chipping away a couple of rules a week. We kept knocking it down. By the time we got it down to the rules that we wanted to have, we had about 100. We started off with a couple of thousand. And it was just, did anyone call? Nope. Anyone call today? Nope. Okay, keep going. And we just kept chopping away to the point where we had 100 left. And that was 100 legitimate requirements to gain access back and forth because we were dealing with vendors and they had to get access to some of our systems. But yeah, it was because first it was a mistake. One of the analysts said, "Boss, I didn't put that list in." Oh, let's just let this sit. Let's see what happens. And from the mistake born, change request number 2, number 3, number 4, and by the time we were done in a couple of weeks, nobody knew the difference. Right?
Hey, well, you just reduced it by 95%, according to my math.